We built a thing. Smokehouse.
And now we smoke.
In absolute typical fashion here, we've got a bit of a crazy project where we're making a new product, a new aperitif using 100% native botanicals to Vancouver Island. Give it a little bit of a unique something, you know? You know, how can I impart a little pizzazz, a little ooh? And what we settled on was a little bit of smoke. I've never smoked anything before. I mean, I've smoked some things, but we've never smoked food. In order to do that for a couple $100, we are going traditional, a traditional cold smokehouse. Because for us, in order to impart the smoky ooh la la to our aperitif, we are going to smoke some botanicals. Thinking stinging nettle. It's got lots of surface area to absorb smoke. At the same time, I think smoking juniper berries. You know, not an overwhelmingly big bang of smoke, but just like a little subtle something in there to make it interesting. I found this gorgeous old wood stove, big hunker cast iron. I gotta clean her out, but she's good, pretty solid. Nice door. And I've got this lower bricked area in the back of our house, which then has a rise and this little hilly thing over here. So we're gonna put that wood stove probably down here somewhere, which is nice because the kitchen is right there. So I can monitor it from inside, but also, you know, if I need to come out and maintain it a little bit. The chimney, so imagine wood box, chimney going up and in that direction. So that's the plan. I have never made a concrete slab foundation of any sort. I have never done any bricklaying, mortar, masonry work. I've never smoked anything. I have never done any of this. But you know what? That's our MO. We started this business having never made mead, never made vermouth. Everything we do now, we once never did. So this is the trial. This is going to be the error. There are going to be a lot of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of wins. But hey, it's how you learn. I dug a hole 4x4. It's on a hill, so the hole's kind of gotta dig deep on one end and a little lower on the other. But yeah, dug a hole with a shovel. But it's level. We got gravel and a bit of sand. We got the frame set in. I gotta just pound the gravel and sand down. Made a couple mallets, but I'm gonna use that guy there to boof, compact my ground down. You know, that'll do. Alrighty, so next up on the list, make and do with what you have. I don't have any rebar. I didn't buy any either because I don't have a means to cut it, and I didn't feel like buying a dedicated tool to something that I currently don't do very often. So I've got some old fencing that I took down, and I think this is a 4x4 slab, so I don't need nothing too intense here. I have somewhere wire cutter. Friends, I have excellent news. I found it. This is exactly what I was looking for. Of course, it was buried with all of our dog accoutrements, the leashes and treats and whatnot, but I found it. So this is a very, 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 very handy tool. This is a tool specifically designed for putting up fencing. You've got this spike here. That's used because on a lot of fences you get these staples, so you can get that hook in there and pull out that staple. You got a hammer in for knocking staples in. You got a little grabber plier thing, so you can yank those staples out, but you see this area right here. See how it closes in? Wire cutters, big heavy duty honkers for cutting some nice big gauge wire. You get it in there and close her up and it'll cut that fence wire. Hyper useful tool. Dad dug his grew up on a farm in Saskatchewan. I'm assuming it probably came from there, putting up fencing. He doesn't know how he got it, but that's the story I'm going with. So now I'm gonna take a 4 foot by 4 foot portion of this and basically use it as my rebar. Again, use what you have, but here's a little demonstration of cutting that wire. Just goes in, one-handed, snip, done. And just like that, we got some fencing snipped. I'm gonna lay this down in my hole. I guesstimated 4 foot length. I strategically, I think, cut this a little longer than I needed. Probably cut it 5 feet. Let's see how she fits. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, as expected. It's about 4 feet tall. Cut her about 5 feet long. And there she blows. A little bit of use it up rebar. Put my cinder block border around there. We'll have a little gap there, so coming out here will be my stovepipe that'll then go down there where my stove will be, and big old smokehouse. So the key is not to fall in the hole. That's important. This thing is pretty solid. It's just wet inside of my cinders. Because it has been raining, you can see the inside of my cinder blocks have filled up with water. And so I've brought the old shop vac out. So I feel pretty comfortable just winging it. Fill the gaps, I don't know, bricklay. The point of this whole extreme build is to keep pests and mice and whatnot out of the smokehouse. So what I'm going to do, mix the mortar in the same thing I did my cement into, scoop it out, slip, slop, sloosh. Those are words, right? Yeah. We're drinking Howell Brewing Autumn Grit. Kind of weird, fun medieval beer, hopless, made with mugwort, which is sweet gal that we're using in our new Cascadia aperitif. Wormwood, bases of vermouth, yarrow, bay, rosemary, lavender, cinnamon. It's actually killer right now because it's not too carbonated, which is nice because I can just leave it out while I'm working and not worry about it going flat. Good sour, not really that bitter. Not big, bold botanical. It's pretty light on the botanicals. It's actually just like a solid sour beer. think what I'm going to do, mortar my bricks in, and I'm not going to mortar around this, so I still have some maneuverabilities, because it needs to fit into the firebox, but still maneuverable, and then I'll just shove it with mortar later. Nanaimo stamped on there. That's where we are. So these bricks, who knows how old they are. I think some of them said Dominion, but they were made here. That's cool. I love that. Okie dokie. We got 2 layers done, and I'm gonna put some anchor bolts in. So I'm gonna fill these cavities with cement so I can fit my anchor bolts in.